Alright, so we are back, of course. Third day, third developer comment. This video would have been out a lot sooner, the normal time, kind of early in the morning. But I've been busy today doing family shit. So, and just to be completely honest with you guys, like I mentioned with yesterday's video, we might not cover all of these, is what I was initially thinking. And I didn't know if I wanted to even make a video about this. But I figured we will anyways, and we'll probably end up just covering all 7 of them regardless. But also I do want to talk about this one for a couple of different reasons anyways. So let's just hop right into this one. Question, what are some of the key things to look forward to in the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth story? Answer, players will witness a chain of narrative developments that lie at the very heart of the Final Fantasy VII story while discovering each character's destiny. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth story and scenario. I guess I was looking for the word writer. It's not there. Kazushika Nojima. So yeah, this one to me, out of the first 3 we have so far, it's kind of nothing. It's kind of a non-answer. It's just like, what can we look forward to in the story? And it's like, character destiny. There'll be narrative developments. Like, what? It's kind of, that's why I kind of didn't want to talk about it to a certain degree, just because, like, what can we decipher from this? Nothing, right? Like, obviously we know these things are going to happen. These are the things that happen in every story ever. What I will say, though, is that there are people who are already looking too much into this message, like with yesterday's message or whatever, or their comment, whatever you want to call it, where it's like different stories, and people are like, oh, that means different, as in like brand new stories, completely new things, Zack's alive, and this and that's going to happen. That type of shit, because people were seeing each character's destiny, and that like is confirmation that we're getting like Sid and Vincent and shit, like for some people. And I'm like, guys, we're probably getting Sid and Vincent in the next game, Kate Sith as well. I fail to mention him sometimes, but like we've seen Kate Sith already, and that's what I'm gonna call him, because that's what I've always called him for 26 years now. But we've already seen Reeve a lot, right? Reeve's in this a little more than he is in like OG FF7's Midgar and stuff. So I already kind of include him in there, but yeah, we're going to come across probably all 3 in the next game. Like, it would sort of make sense to save one for, like, the 3rd game just to have that kind of hype, but I feel like at this point, we've waited, it took this long to just play the first game, right? It took us this long to get to the first game, and we're several years into the first game, and to have to get to the 2nd game, and we're going to miss, like, Sid or Vincent or whoever they'd want to leave out potentially, like, that'd be kind of annoying to have to wait another, like, 2 to 3, 4 years for the 3rd game just to finally get to one of those characters. So I do think that they're going to be in the 2nd game, like a full roster, full team, but I just don't think that that's what each character's destiny is trying to say. I just realized too, as I got done recording that I forgot to mention Yuffie, but clearly she's going to be a part of the team at some point. What I am kind of curious about, though, thinking about it, is how they're going to handle this if we are getting the full team, right? Because we went through all of Remake with just 4 party members and obviously guest party member with Red 13. But how are they going to handle like 5 brand new characters, right? Because we have Red 13 on the team at the end of the game, but he's not a playable character to like level up and shit. We're going to go into the next game, and if we're getting the whole team, the whole roster here, we're going to have like Yuffie, Red 13, Kate Sith, Vincent, and Sid, all brand new characters that they themselves have to be leveled up and progressed and get backstories and all that shit. And it's like, that's why I have that just tiny idea of there maybe saving one for the next game, the 3rd game. But if they want to put them all in there, man, I don't know. Maybe it's a massive game. It's PS5 only, right? It can be multi-disc, right? That's something that people kind of ignore when we talk about like game sizes and file sizes and shit. There could be multiple discs. There's no reason they can't do that if they want to. Obviously, there's just going to be an install disc potentially, because that's what Remake did. But yeah, like, I don't know how they're going to fit all those characters. And then like side content too. Like, you have to give backstories for these characters and modern day stories for these characters, but also like just side content, side quests and things like that. And maybe it's going to be a crazy big game. Maybe it is like I don't know. I'm rambling. And I know that Nojima's just simply answering a question here, but I do feel like that he could have been a little more maybe descriptive, because again, this is quite vague. If we're talking like key things to look forward to in the story for Rebirth, like, well, obviously we know we're chasing down Sephiroth, so he could have just briefly touched on that. You don't want to be too descriptive with these answers, obviously. You don't want to give away too much, but like, I don't know, he could have been a little more like on the nose talking about some things that we're going to be doing, because this is a chain of narrative developments. Like, holy shit, no way. I don't really have like a good example, so to speak, for this, so maybe there isn't like no good way to answer this question, so to speak. But like, yeah, we know we're chasing down Sephiroth, so like, it could have been like, our heroes are on the pursuit of Sephiroth at the end of the game, so that's what they're going to be doing. I don't know, like, maybe that's a shit answer, but that's just I'm trying to think of something here. But yeah, so it's kind of a funny thing. There's actually like articles memeing this message today, which is kind of funny. People were getting upset by. This tweet right here was making the rounds earlier, and it says, breaking, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will have a story. That's it. This is them talking about the fucking message. And it's kind of funny. People were like quote tweeting that shit and like getting upset or like triggered by Push Square being like sarcastic with the answer. It's like, dude, relax. You have to learn to have a sense of humor. Like, holy shit. I don't know how you read this and like, I'm pointing the wrong way. Read this and get upset. It's just so ridiculous, bro. Get offline occasionally. Like I said, man, like this one to me wasn't like super worth talking about, but I figured, hey, I actually kind of just want to make a video, to be honest, because it's fun to make content right now. Like it's fun to be motivated and have something to fucking discuss for Remake, Rebirth, all that shit. So part of me just want to make a video to talk about this shit, but I wanted to discuss, for one, that Push Square article, because I thought that shit was funny. People were mad. But also just kind of, and also people like getting like seeing the characters like Destiny thing, and people were like, say it, Vincent, 100%. Like, I just want to talk about that shit too. Hopefully, though, the next few, assuming that there is going to be 7 leading up to Summer Game Fest, are a little bit better. I don't know if they're going to touch on anything. I don't know what the other one's going to touch on, to be honest. I mentioned, I think, data transfer with yesterday's video, but I don't know if that's something they want to talk about, as in, like, maybe they seem to be, like, very game-specific, right? Talking about the, freedom, the exploration, now we're talking about story stuff or whatever. So I don't know if they're going to touch on something like that, but it is an important question, right? There's a shit ton of the community, probably majority community, more than 50%, that want to know, like, is shit carrying over? Like, there's a lot of people that want to know that shit, right? So, like, I think that's a question that would be good to address. Like, if they're struggling for fucking question and answers, like, that's one. Let us know what's happening. Like I mentioned earlier, we're probably just going to cover all these anyways, just to have something Rebirth related to talk about. But tomorrow's video will definitely be earlier, probably around the morning, not too long after the tweet goes out type shit, like we've been doing the last 2 videos. So, of course, pass off to you guys. What are your thoughts on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth having a story? Like, that's insane. That's some breaking news, my dudes. This actually was very video-worthy. Now, what do you think of today's message? Is there a bigger meaning to it? I guess we also didn't talk about the background of the image, but, like, it's just a picture from the trailer. We already knew that was going to be a thing, probably. Other than this video, do subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Social networks in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, @YT. That's it. Bye.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Logain, or leave it like Cobain.